Let's talk about reading, not just as some skill you're trying to hack for productivity, but as this deeply human experience that can change how we think and how we feel. We're going to dive into both sides of it today, the science and the soul. You know that feeling, right? You get all the way to the bottom of a page, your eyes definitely moved across all the words, but if someone asked you what you just read, you'd have absolutely no idea. It's so frustrating, and it seems to be happening more and more. And it's no wonder. We're practically drowning in information these days. Think about it. Emails, news alerts, social media feeds. We're reading constantly. But with all that noise, our ability to just sit, focus, and actually absorb what we're reading, it feels like it's slipping away. But what if there was a way to fight back against that scattered feeling? Well, a recent study looked into a pretty cool technique that might just be the scientific fix we need. It's called mindful speed reading, or MSR for short. And the concept is kind of genius. It takes the focused, in-the-moment awareness you get from mindfulness and smashes it together with the efficiency of speed reading. The whole point isn't just to blaze through a book faster, but to actually understand it better. So here's how it actually works. You start with the mindfulness part, calming your brain down and getting rid of all the distractions. Then you bring in the speed reading techniques to help your eyes move smoothly and efficiently. And when you combine those two, the goal, the big payoff, is way better comprehension. Okay, so it sounds great in theory, doesn't it? Mindfulness plus speed, a match made in heaven. But does putting them together actually make a difference in the real world? Well, get this. The results from the study were pretty amazing. They had a group of 7th graders use this MSR technique, and on average, their reading comprehension scores jumped by nearly 69%. So what does a number like 68.76% even mean? Well, researchers use this thing called an N-gain score to see how effective a teaching method is. And a score like this puts MSR firmly in the moderately effective category, and it's knocking on the door of highly effective. So this isn't just some small bump. It's a legit, significant improvement. So, MSR is a fantastic tool for making our reading more efficient. But that's only half the story, isn't it? Because sometimes the goal isn't just about efficiency. Sometimes it's about connection. I mean, what if the whole reason we pick up a book isn't just to download facts, but to try and understand ourselves and other people a little bit better? And that's where this powerful idea comes in. When we read a story, we're not just watching from the sidelines. Our brain is actually simulating what the characters are going through. It's like we get to live inside their heads, see through their eyes, and feel what they feel. Now, this process directly flexes a really important mental muscle called theory of mind. It's a fancy name for something fundamental. The ability to get that other people have their own thoughts, feelings, and beliefs that are completely separate from yours. And reading fiction is one of the best workouts for it. I love this analogy. Think of fiction as a flight simulator for our social lives. It's this safe space where we can practice dealing with tricky social situations and complex people, all without any of the real-world risks. So how does the simulator actually run? Well, first there's perspective taking. We literally step into a character's shoes. Then emotional resonance kicks in. When they feel sad, our brain pulls up our own memories of sadness. And all that together creates this incredible social simulation where we learn about people and relationships on a really deep level. But here's the crucial twist. Not all reading gives you the same empathy workout. Research has shown that literary fiction, the kind of stories where the characters are complex and you're not always told exactly what they're thinking, is way better at boosting this theory of mind skill. Why? Because it makes you do the heavy lifting of figuring people out. Popular fiction or nonfiction often just spells it out for you, which doesn't challenge that empathy muscle in the same way. So we've basically got these two incredible superpowers that reading gives us, one for absorbing information and one for building human connection. And the real trick is knowing which one you need and when. So it really boils down to this. If you're reading to study for a test or get up to speed on a report, a tool like mindful speed reading is perfect. It helps you focus and retain facts. But if you're reading to understand the world, to grow your empathy, you've got to lose yourself in a good piece of literary fiction. And that really gets to the heart of it all. Being a good reader has nothing to do with how fast or slow you are. The true skill is reading with intention, knowing why you've opened that book and using the right approach for that specific goal. So the next time you pick up a book, just take a second and ask yourself that question. What am I here for? Am I trying to learn something about the world? Or am I trying to learn something about myself? The answer might just change everything.